I think we're all here playing a game. I mean, not on the internet, on on the planet. I was just in the garden, and I was thinking about oh, I'm gonna get this right out of my door. But I thought I'm playing hide and seek. This is like I'm waiting to be found by people, by someone. Um, which is relative to a story that started writing. God knows where, which was part when I it was part of the manuscript that I was putting together when I emailed the pastor from my local church. I told him I was rewriting the Bible, which was actually true. He didn't get back to me though, and it was modern. It was more modern fables, sort of. Anyway, I didn't carry on with it. It got a bit complicated. Um, but the gods, as they are, mingle among us, don't they? I say us. Um, the spirit is uh fluid. We're not supposed to remember everything. Um, because that would make the game too easy. Um, I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of extra players, isn't there, for the story I was originally in? But then I suppose, um, if we were, I don't know, maybe it's teams. I don't know. I don't know. But there was, oh, I don't know what. I can't even work my way around my own head with this to explain it. But the family, so God and Mrs. God was my mum and dad. And I have written about this, haven't I? And then my ex was one of my brothers, and my other ex was I don't even think I can talk about it now. Was was a brother who was adopted in, and they could. Oh, I don't know. It's a strange sort of tale, really. But there was other like that was like a memory. That was like an astral travel. It might be just a bit like a rather an actual factual thing. But we've been back and forth to that plane, not recently, but enough times to visit. Um, maybe this is complicated because I do often say that we are all children of God. Um, so I'm not actually trying to say that I am the chosen child in any way, shape, or form, because I'm not quite that conceited. I would be though, wouldn't I? I would be. I remember. Now I am being truthful. That was just like recounting astral, which could just be like made up stories, really, couldn't it? I'm not trying to say it's true, but it was a true thing that happened to me. You know what I'm saying? You do know what I'm saying, and it's a bit like a dream in the day, isn't it? But not the same as just imagining something. It was an astral experience. But I do know they're open to interpretation, basically was what I'm saying. It could have been, I don't think it was a projection. Well, not from my, I don't know. I don't know about it. Anyway, but just to say that I might be the fact, I don't know, but this is like, this is in the Bible anyway, isn't it? Um, about the prodigal son, I suppose. But the woman at the rescue place. I remember when I had one of my dogs, anyway, on the forum, but I had made a comment about it's often the ones that you work hardest with, the most difficult ones, end up being the ones that you bond closest with because you spend that much more time like working with them. And even if it doesn't really, if it fails, even in the end, or I don't know, but the effort that you put in, you just form that much more of an attachment thing. So you know what? I probably am quite hard work, really. I'd be worth a decent. I probably wouldn't be worth a payout, really. Not as much time in. Maybe it's like the rank outside, isn't it? I don't know. So I just stick a 10 on this one. It comes in, I'm laughing. I tend to do that. I used to do that at the races. I always go to those little market races in Newmarket. I always used to. This is when I was tiddly. I used to go with my olds, and was allowed to pick and go off to the. I was like, give him a quid, pick my own horse, trundle off to the betting station, like I'm an happy. I wasn't quite that young, and I usually done quite well. I've talked about this before. I can still remember the horses Orange Crush. I used to bet on that every time, and I always used to place at least. And the other one was Ladies Beware. I don't know, it's strange two horses really for a 7-year-old girl just to put out of racing times. That's a tangent in itself, isn't it? I've completely gone off what I was talking about. I'm. Oh yeah, so I was literally just sitting in the garden thinking, oh, anyway, the two boys in the story, we were young children in the story, like playing on the carpet, me and one of them, one of my brothers, the adopted one, because no one else would play with him, and he's a bit of a strange child. And then the boys take him on, I don't know, I was like in there, and they just got off tumbling, but that was to do with writing. There was a lot of like the gods write stories. This is where the book thing came in. So we were all encouraged to write stories, and that's how different things play out. So this would be a story that one of us had written, like, and then you pick the stories off the bookshelf, really, and that astral thing. Um, there you go. But he always reads them through to check. Well, but that would be like I suppose that would be like the soul contracts, wouldn't it? Um, really, I think that you don't ever like you sign a soul contract if you believe that before. I don't know if I believe it or not. I read it and it seemed like I believe it as much as anything. And you don't sign anything that you wouldn't. You have to read it. You have to agree. You won't sign it. You don't have to sign nothing before you're born. So you agree to this life before you're born. People have often said to me, why would I? Why would I? I don't believe that. I wouldn't sign up to this. And I've said, you know, if you had to go choring off all day, cleaning the streets or whatever it was you were doing, some shitty, whatever. I mean, most things are pretty awful, aren't they? Everything's a bit of a chore, you know, from this end to that end. Everyone's life is equally stressful in its own degree, really, I think. I mean, it might not look like it, but your degrees of stress, I mean, yeah. Why would I sign up to it? Well, you would, wouldn't you? If you know afterwards, you could have a nice sit down, a cup of tea, and some biscuits, probably. You'd do anything. You would. So I thought, oh, fuck it, I don't care, I'll do it, yeah. I'll do it for tenner afterwards. I bet you. I bet you can't do it. How much do you bet me? Oh, I'll do it then. I'll do it. You would. You would. I think so anyway. know. There's probably more to it than that. But that's. I was just thinking I was playing hide and seek in the garden. It was like I was sitting waiting somewhere to be found. That sort of feeling. And knowing that someone's going to come back. But I was sitting in that same spot that I spent a lot of my breakdown in, outside the back door, chain smoking, staring at the bird tree that's now been cut down, waiting for a bird to come past and tell me a story. And there's other things. I've sat in that corner, like scrying clouds and all sorts of different times, and people astrally. I don't even know who they are. I thought I knew who they are at the time, but then different things come along like that. It's what you think you're talking to, and actually, and other people pop into the story. So that makes it a bit more interesting though, because if we were literally whoever, Hermes and all the other gang that have travelled over the years, there's a few of them to go around, isn't there? Across all the boards of the different teams of religions, the religion teams. It's a bit like what's that film? All the films really. Not the one when they send all the Chinese children to the islands and they have to shoot each other until the last one's remaining, last one standing. The other one that was a children's version of that, the English one, with the bird label. That sort of thing, really. It's just knockabout, I think. And then everyone else is just chucked in for like props. Maybe, I don't know. Probably not. A bit far-fetched, really, isn't it? Who can write the craziest story? I don't know who wrote this one. This one's a bit too crazy. Who would have written this one? Some crazy person who had only crayons. No sharpenings. But I think because I've had another astral along the lines of when I've said the book thing, haven't I? And when you walk, I think I've seen like past and like string lives with a soul party. Should it be? I don't know. It's hard to know, isn't it? Without looking too crazy. If things have been projected onto you as well, because that happens, doesn't it? And then so you walk towards the light and then the light gets too bright. This is how it was in my astral challenge. Walking with someone, so it was all quite, it is heaven, I suppose. And then the offs are different lives, and whether this is just part of the story, just at the point, when you're reading a book, and sometimes you need a bit that's not too exciting, you just need a bit that you can sleep if you read this bit. We're just walking along, looking down out the window, like watching films. You're just sitting watching our lives or other people's lives, and just like watching through old photo books, but on completely all different things. So that was another astral, and then we did say we weren't going to do it again because it's too much. This was our last time round. We didn't want to do it anymore, me and the old man. I don't know though. That might have just been another end of chapter, and then there might be another one afterwards, because that's something else I read in some Buddhist manifesto propaganda thing on the internet. Is that was to do with reincarnation, and I think it was the 7 stages of death or something I was reading about when I was having my last massive what's it called? Not breakdown, existential crisis. I googled how do you deal with an existential crisis to start with, and then that's when I got on to Mr. Worm. What was he called? Mr. Worm. positive disintegration. And I think 7 stages of death I just googled, which was the Buddhist thing, which then I wasn't scared of dying after that anymore. I think it's 7 stages of death. Of course, I say. Oh yeah, and then it just says da 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 da, and then you go to what da 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 da, and then it says, but why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you do it again? So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know really. So it's probably because you do want a surprise, and I don't know if you do though. I don't know, but I think it is going to be okay for everyone. Truly, I do. I think because I've always said heaven is going to be different for everyone, isn't it? Everyone's got their own idea of heaven. Sometimes it's like films. Sometimes you want to watch Dumbo. Sometimes you want to watch a Narnia film. Sometimes you want to watch some sort of snuff movie. Sometimes people want to watch scat. I don't know. It's like every reason the season, isn't it? And if you have to watch the same film over and over again for your end of days, that might get a bit boring. I don't know though. I've got to do my drawing today. I was going to do Pan. After I was saying I felt like Pan of the pandemonium in the garden earlier, I was going to be Pam. People. Well, I was, and then I thought, and I was thinking just now when I was coming back from the shop with the coffee. I've had coffee now. That's why I've gone crazy probably because I did Elliot the Dragon yesterday, and because I remember Elliot the Dragon when I was little because my friends were the Elliots. That's actually true. They had a construction industry in the Shire. His friend, or Peter, was his friend. They helped. So I thought, well, Peter Pan, maybe I should do Pan. I don't know what to do with Pan. I don't even know if I'm going to do that, to be honest, because it would mean life drawing again. But I do seem to be doing a fairy theme at the minute. I'll probably have more nonsense to come back with soon. I love my outfit. Look, my Nikki costume. It's the bomb. It's the absolute bomb. I'm so happy with this. I love khaki anyway, especially after seeing my lucky colours of brown and yellow. Because that is brown is